question, just so that's clear. Chris puts in constant.
I will try to do this dice thing real quick. So
It's very pink.
game settings, configure settings,
Dice so
Dice
nice.
dice so nice,
3D
3D dice settings,
special effects, third tab up top,
so effects.
and then you go dice type d20 and a result of 20.
Okay.
Then the third tab you do execute custom macro, and then the cog immediately to its right. You ignore everything except the select macro thing, select your own, and that's it. And then if you roll a 20, there'll be something really sick.
Okay, so I save.
Wait, roll your dice again. That shit was cool.
Who?
You.
I didn't roll my dice.
What the
Did I?
fuck? It
Oh,
says
someone
you
else.
did. Oh, somebody else rolled for him?
Yeah, I didn't do that. Yeah.
No, it was Laura.
It
It
Wait,
says
how the fuck
Senna.
can I roll as
some
you?
reason,
It says Senna under the
How
thing.
can I roll as you?
I think everyone might have ownership of Aluna right now because she shows up for me.
Why?
Oh yeah, true.
How do I
All
stop
players
that?
default owner, but that's weird. Hold on, fixing that. There.
I did not mean. Oh, but I chose the radiant one. I have at any point I have no clue what I'm doing in Foundry still. I'm just stumbling my way around. So just immediate panic anytime. Just did I break it?
Lack of consent in this party is crazy.
Insane.
I didn't consent to roll as you either.
I liked it though. Do it one more time. That die was fucking nice.
I don't
The
need.
dice-
I just had a regular die. I don't. Oh, that's no. It should be hers. Yeah.
That's yours?
Ooh.
That is gorgeous. God
Nope,
damn,
I'm
bitch.
still rolling as Aluna.
You might have to log out and back in for that to change,
Okay.
or click on a token that's your token.
Yeah, I don't like mine anymore. Hers is too cool.
Go steal
Oh
them.
my god.
Just waiting for everything to be over so we can begin.
Okay.
That is so sick, bitch. Fuck. What is that? God damn.
I'm
Anyway,
good.
I'm ready. I'm just looking at stuff. Don't mind me.
So are we good?
Maybe.
Are we ever really good?
All right. Last we left off, we had just finished the meeting, the first Grayskull meeting that the party has attended. We had a little bit of a shopping episode where a lot of math was done, a lot of picking items, calculating, bartering, trying to knock out some prices. Until finally you headed to the other side, an inn that is in the sort of south eastern quadrant of town, and waited a little bit until the appointed time for the meeting. At the meeting, you met up with Lady Commander Lukina Windranen, who I just got dragged over to notice.
Same, the fucking setting turned back on. Kevin!
I didn't do it.
Where she shared with you all that she had assembled that little unit, an extraordinary unit comprised of individuals who had not been affected for some reason by the strange phenomenon that has afflicted the city, where people seemingly just don't bother anymore talking about vampires or even entertaining the thought that something might be wrong with the city in that regard. She introduced you all to the rest of the members of the unit. There are about 20-ish people in total. Although, like I said, we will be focusing on a few key individuals who also spoke to varying degrees during the meeting. The collective has already assembled a few leads, a few clues that they had shared with you all. And similarly, you shared a little bit of your story and things that you think might be relevant. With all of that knowledge in mind, when it seemed like the meeting had nothing new to be shared anymore, the lady commander called the meeting off, and after a little bit of a few more exchanges, left, leaving all of you behind to stay at the other side, where it has been agreed that you would stay just for this night. And the stage is proverbially yours. If you would like to do something that night still, you're welcome to do so. Otherwise, we can just go to the following day. What'll it be?
Bees?
In the trap.
I think sleep for now, maybe?
Yeah.
And then send Rala out? Do we send... Rala was sleeping already, right? Or like about to fall asleep?
Yes.
We'll just sleep and then send Raw out in the morning.
I could also
I...
go with Rala so they don't have to go alone.
Yeah.
When
Little
you...
will go.
When you do, I'll give you one of my rings to take with you.
As long as it's not one where you get out of your ear without unclasping.
I won't make you look.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you all had to sleep. The beds are decent. The room isn't. You get. If I recall, you got 2 rooms, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there are beds for everyone. Although the beds aren't too super large or super comfortable, but they do. You all have a decent night of sleep or of contemplation for some of you. Unless anyone would have anything to add over the period of the night, it goes by uneventfully. You guys are in a safe place and not in the middle of the woods, presumably.
I would... Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I would like to, towards a later portion of the night, since I don't need to sleep for most of it, remove an earring from my ear, which immediately grows back somehow. And upon doing so, I'd like to inspect, I'd like to look into it and inspect whether the one I had left behind earlier, whether I still have access to that one, or if that one has now faded and I only have access to the one currently in my possession.
Okay. Anything else?
Well, do I have access to the other one?
Oh, I did not register that as a question. I don't know. My brain just processed the sentence part, and the question was like, "Woof." Sorry, what?
So, essentially, I'm creating another of these sensors that I now have that we had spoken about. I want to, in-game, as Noah, see whether I still have access now to the one that I had left behind in the morning, or if I've lost contact to that one and now only have access to the one that I currently have on me.
Remind me again where you had left it.
It was wherever we left in the morning. I forgot the name of that place.
Bristol?
Yes. I had left one in the woods, I believe. No, wait, it was here in the woods. Yeah, it was here in the woods. like outside the city gates.
Um,
I made up a grotto that I'm not sure if it exists, but I made it up and I said it was there.
I don't recall putting a distance limit to it, right?
Correct.
Then yeah, it's been moved around a little bit.
Okay.
It's not in the exact same spot, but you can still see out of it, no problem. You see a few carriages leaving. Well, it's not morning yet, right? Or is it like very early morning?
Yes, I would say I would do it during the later portion of the night.
Okay. You see a few guards beginning to take up their posts and everything. But
Okay.
other than that, it's just there.
Okay. And can I also see through the one that's in my hand right now?
No, once you again, I don't. I mean, you should know how it works, right?
I do. I'm flavoring. I'm yes-anding.
Yeah, I know. It's just that I don't recall exactly how it works.
I should lose sight of the other one.
Okay, in that case, when you activate the new one, you do lose your ability to see out the other one.
Okay. Now, with that in mind, this is where I really wanted to go. Would I perhaps, with the remaining hours of the night, I'd like to look into that, of course, and study any possibilities to bypass that even. Obviously, it's not going to be resolved overnight, but in the long term, I would like to be able to leave sensors in various locations. So I want to get started on that kind of study.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you can begin working on that. Not sure how much headway you can make into it for now, but it's definitely like you can start maybe beginning to enhance the system.
Okay. Okay, perfect. In that case, I'll do that for the remainder of the night. I'll get started on the process of expanding my domain, and I'm then simply going to rest my token on a desk nearby so that I can give it to Rala in the morning.
All right. Well, morning eventually does arrive. Everyone can wake up feeling rested and ready for a new day.
Was an ominous join.
Yes.
We make up and we wake up, not wake up. We wake up and convene in a single room, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, you will have breakfast ready for you soon. Julia's taking care of you guys. And you can then discuss what to do if you wish.
Good morning. Afternoon, morning. What time is
It's still morning. It's 8 a.m.
it? Why did we get up so early?
Probably the excitement. There's much to be done today.
Indeed, there
I'm
is.
overjoyed. She looks at you very tired.
Did you not sleep well last night?
No, I just like sleeping more.
I don't remember the last time I actually slept for that long. I don't believe I sleep anyway, but we've talked about this.
Mm.
What does sleeping feel like to you?
That's an odd question. To say it kind of feels like, well, good sleep at least. Feels like drifting off, and then sort of a darkness, and then a warm hug. Then waking up is realizing that wasn't a warm hug, it was your blanket, and now you have to take it off and feel the, well, I don't feel the cold air, but I still do like the feel of a blanket on top of me. Or just something in general.
Why do more people not walk around with a blanket then?
I mean, that's kind of what cloaks are.
But there. I guess that's true. I guess cloaks are blankets.
Cloaks are blankets. No, 2025.
Years of wizard school.
Cloaks equal blankets?
Wait, how fucking old was I?
600 something.
Ancient wisdom.
Fuck, it's on the Roll20 sheet. God damn it, cunt. I don't remember, but that's interesting. I've read so many books over the course of my brief existence now. Not really any of them talk about what sleeping feels like. They just mention that they are going to sleep. And that's about it.
Well, unless you're having a nightmare, sleeping can be mundane.
And yet everybody likes to do it.
Well, everyone I know. Lilia?
I mean, yeah, sleep's pretty great. It helps you feel refreshed and gives you energy.
Rala, sweetie?
Yeah, it's alright, but you gotta be careful.
Careful?
Yeah, you don't want to sleep too late. They say,
What happens if you sleep too late?
well,
Miss out on.
hold on. It was the early worm doesn't get eaten by the bird. Yeah. So don't sleep in and don't get eaten by a bird.
I mean, not getting eaten by a bird's pretty good advice.
Sounds good enough to me.
There are birds that can eat people.
Well, I'm certain.
I used to get up late at my monastery all the time. It was a real hassle, actually. My friend had to go pick up breakfast for me. Admittedly, I was a bit spoiled back then.
That is interesting.
Anyway. So, Maisel, where do you think we should start?
Well, considering we have to start somewhere, I think the least risky spot is to start looking around the frosty ends. You kind of mentioned that Rala might be able to look around without arousing too much suspicion, and we can at least get some eyes on these people who seem to be more drained than the others.
You know, I'd mentioned about going with Raul to the orphanage, and now, after a moment of introspection, I'm wondering if I'm going to be a little bit obvious.
As in, you'll stand out?
I mean, I don't think I'm subtle.
That is a problem.
Mm,
Rala, what do you usually do at the frosty ends?
There's not a whole lot to do. I mean, I had a secret base there one time, but
Secret.
I tore that down. But yeah, there's some shops, not great ones.
no great shops in Great Helm, huh?
Well, not the ends, at least.
But I see what you did there. It was a good one.
Almost there.
Rala's got
50%.
jokes. Let me try to remember something. I think I might have seen a spell that we could use for this situation yesterday in one of the shops. I believe one of the shops might have been selling a spell called Seeming. Is that right, God?
Are you asking if you could find some seeming in the shop?
Yep. Not to be mistaken with semen. That's
Yeah.
on the sea.
Yep.
Okay. Keeping in mind that you're asking if there is a spell scroll for a 5th level spell
Mm-hmm.
in a city that is not very magical, roll a d100.
Fuck yeah.
Was
Ah,
it
shit.
opening damage
If I get
made
100, I won't get the cut in. God damn.
73. Unfortunately, you have not actually found a scroll of seeming in one of the shops. However, you certainly think you did. It is only until later in the day when you go back to the shop that you will find that you were mistaken.
Oh, damn. It only seemed as though they had it. Hey, shopkeep.
Yes.
If you receive a spell called Seeming while I'm still in town, will you let me know?
Oh, I sure will. But well, I should say, most of the things in the shop, most, not all, but I craft them myself. You know, little trinkets and baubles and those kinds of things. The stronger ones I certainly buy from Cadence Tower. Sometimes I can see if he may have some in stock, but this is not the usual kind of thing, so I doubt it would just roll around. If you wish, I could try to place an order or see if he has that spell lying about, or if he could produce it.
How quickly would you be able to contact him?
Well, contact him should take about a day, like to get a reply back. But the production of the spell itself might take a little bit more if he doesn't have it in stock.
Give me a second to think about it. I'll turn away from her and I'll cast out Ascending.
To whom?
Hayden.
Okay, you have met him before, indeed.
Yep. Oh, Hayden.
Yes.
So here we go. Master Caden, this is Noah. We've met. I'm looking for a spell called Seeming.
We've met.
Master Caden, may I have your seeming?
Yes.
Oh, I really want to get so much of that seeming from you.
No, I was also thinking, I'm looking for a man in fight.
It's
Me,
6'5",
you,
blue
and your
eyes,
semen.
finance.
Oh god. Anyway, so
I need to get some seeming on all my friends.
Master Caden, it's Noah. We've met. I'm looking for a spell called Seeming. Do you have it in store? Are you able to deliver it to Greathelm? Post haste. Please respond. And I'll wait.
Okay. Now, while I figure out this guy's voice, because you know he wasn't supposed to show up now, roll a d20 this time for the probability of him having it in stock.
I love that you're making me gamble.
Let's go gambling.
Ooh,
Oh.
it's pretty solid.
Fuck. Voice.
It's me, Caden.
Definitely not. Okay, now I need to count the fucking words too. I hate this spell. I'm gonna make like a 5th level spell that just lets you talk to people, like a phone call, and
Like
that's
on
it.
the phone.
Yeah.
Is it a FaceTime though?
Make it a ritual
No,
spell.
FaceTime is like a 7th level spell. But yes, I would definitely make it a ritual. I'm gonna workshop this like later. Um, um,
Music is popping off in anticipation of the voice.
I'm counting words, bitch.
I don't know how many I used. It just seemed like less than 25, so I went with it.
Now let me look at tables for price of spell scrolls.
I'm looking for a man in finance.
Okay.
What's the damage, boss?
Oh. You. Hello. As it turns out, we do have one of those in stock. It would run you 2,500 gold.
Jesus
Fractals.
fuck.
Are you interested?
What did he say?
2,500.
Oh, what did he say?
What?
Remind me, I was doing a meme.
Oh,
Oh,
I
I'm
didn't catch that one.
gonna bump it down to
What did he
2,000.
say?
2,000, not 2,500.
Okay.
Because I forgot that for consumables the price is halved.
I'll tell the shopkeep, give me just a moment. And I'll rush out the door where my party is undoubtedly waiting for me. All right.
Undoubtedly.
Undoubtedly. All right, guys. So, there is a spell scroll nearby that could probably be delivered here soon. That would allow me, once I've cast it, to change our appearances for most of the day. It is decently expensive, I have to say, and it will probably delay us a little bit before we can start. Do we think it is worth it? And I'm asking because I admittedly don't really have an issue with time, so I don't always understand the need for rushing.
I mean, that sounds pretty useful if we think we're going to be having, sneak our way around and not get recognized. I think for the general going forward of seems maybe really useful. Could be.
But at the same time, can we really afford to just sit around here for a few days while people might be suffering?
I can't really argue whether it will be a few days or not, although I have a feeling that it wouldn't take quite that long.
A feeling, or do you know?
Well, I was told that the spell scroll is in stock, just not right here. But the person who has it is a powerful mage, so I could probably ask him to send it here via magic.
Well, we should still probably do other things in the meantime. I don't want to sit around.
I think it might be better to have
You're cutting
I
out
could
a
still
tiny
go.
bit.
Somebody else could go with Rala, or I could just try and keep a larger distance, maybe.
Well, there is a way in which we can bypass this somewhat. because I can change my own appearance. Although I'm not sure if I'm necessarily the most suited to going on such a mission.
Raising her hand. I would prefer not Mr. Bookman.
Are you still upset about the book?
Yes.
Well, that's fair. Let's see. I don't think it would work otherwise. I wish I could somehow help you change your appearance, but I can't unless I get my hands on this spell.
There's something about putting a spell in an orb or something.
That I could do, although you'd kind of have to tell me what exactly you would like said spell to do for you. I will have to choose the spell before you leave for the day.
I mean, if you did it just to make me look different, would that work?
Huh.
It'd probably last an hour.
It will last just an hour, but
Oh, okay. Never mind.
you're technically right. That would be a way to bypass the limitation of just changing my own appearance. That's really smart, Lilia. Nice.
Well, thank you.
Well, in the first place, we wanted to check the Frosty Ends at nighttime. How long does it take to get over there?
I've never
God?
been.
Hmm?
How long does it take to get to the Frosty Ends?
Oh, the Frosty Ends.
Yeah.
It's on the other side of town, so like maybe half an hour, an hour.
No. Okay.
Don't scratch my chair.
Yeah,
What's
no,
going
don't
on,
scratch
Lilia?
the chair.
Shush. So, what's our move then? Do we proceed as planned? We send Lilia and Rala in there and hope Lilia doesn't stand out too much? Or do we just send somebody else in? Why don't you go, Luna?
I don't quite think it matters if we just go together. Rella's already taken us around town throughout the day.
I mean, don't we also have to see about getting lodgings for a more permanent basis?
That is true. We need to like either buy or rent a house.
Well, I'll be frank. In that case, we can forget about that spell scroll. The funds are running a little bit lower than anticipated after yesterday's purchases.
Expensive, man.
I'll just come out clean and say it. The spell scroll would be about 2,000 fractals. I've got 3,500 on me right now. Unless somebody magically can procure another solid amount of coin, that's just not going to happen.
Is there like a job board somewhere?
I'm gonna do side quests for money.
I'm gonna run through the
That's-
tall grass for a while and just
Yeah.
defeat Pokemon.
The
It's
agent
disgusting
that
as such a
Let me
fundamental
do
level.
some fetch quests for a couple hours. I'll be right back.
you said a medium mid-sized house would run like 1,000 fractals.
Like
For
bought?
purchase, yes.
Really?
Pretty
Do we-
pretty nice house too.
Do we
What about
want
like
to
a
settle down
shitty
here?
house? What about like a real shit house? What about a trap house? How much would that cost?
If you want
No.
something in the Frosty Ends, that would be like 100 and something, 200. And
How
something.
about we get a medium-sized house that isn't super flashy and isn't super decrepit? Be a nice place to stay.
But should
And
we buy?
how much is it? 1,000?
About 1,000.
I think we should.
What if we at some point want to sell it?
Well, I mean,
Then-
depends on what the market's doing at the time.
I hate this conversation.
Lilia, for like a sheltered child from like a small village, is oddly savvy about the ins and outs of real estate.
Her mom was really like
There was a brief
really
time where
on
she was
one.
flipping houses. It was a whole thing.
Like physically flipping them.
Yeah,
She bought them,
Gardania.
I had to flip them.
Yeah, Gardania was like, okay, let's flip some houses later and we'll make a killing. And then seconds later, she's like, no, not flipping like that.
And she flipped on a house on someone and they died.
They were the Wicked Witch of the West. It was fine.
Now, what if... Hear me out. What if we rent something instead? And I promise you that I will find a way to conjure a house, a castle for ourselves, wherever we want to.
Is this going to be a spell?
It'll have to be. I don't think a house would fit in the bag of holding we just bought.
Not unless it was really teeny tiny.
And then it wouldn't fit all of us. Unless it could change sizes. See, there's so many... I don't like that question, Iluna. You're sending me into a spiral.
Alright.
Okay, so we'll rent. Are we all okay with that?
How much is renting a month?
Fuck, I had initially said 100 per month, right? And then I backed out from it because I was like,
Because you're little.
It's
100 per month is fair, I think.
it's
It's
fair
still-
in terms of like what we're trying to do. It's cringe in terms of how finance works.
It's
Yeah,
Yes.
true.
Yeah.
Because then you
Yes.
rent for a year and you could have bought the house.
yeah,
literally.
exactly,
Not
exactly.
even a year. It's every
10
month, right?
months. Yeah.
10 months.
At that point, it's like, just buy
But it's
it.
because because like if it was gonna be realistic, like the rent would be like, I don't know, 15 gold, like 30 fractals or something, right?
Mhm.
But then it's kind of like you guys don't even have to think about it. It's just like, okay, whatever. But yeah, let's put it at 100 gold, 100 fractals rather. I need to get used to this.
I smacked the paper where all the numbers and offers are for these houses and renting and everything. God damn it. It makes no sense to rent if these are the prices.
I could say you guys are all orphans and you can live with me at the orphanage.
Rala, sweetie.
I mean, I think a couple of us could probably pass by.
I really don't think they could.
I am 26 years old.
Yeah,
I mean, look at Noah. He's in the youth, in the prime youth.
Nobody knows how old I am, Lilia. There's no need to go telling people.
We could go posing as if we were going to adopt.
I mean, it'd be a very interesting family walking in.
Well, it would make sense. We've traveled with Rala all over the place already.
I mean, fair.
If they've seen us, if they haven't already seen us, then they aren't looking. But first, let's find this place to rent. God, fucking, it sickens me to my stomach.
Hey man, I'm just keeping the game balance.
And
I'm
my
so
fundamental
sorry.
sense of finance is like screaming.
I'm so sorry to be changing my mind all the time, but now that I've looked at the numbers, renting makes no sense. the numbers don't add up. If you look at it here,
Okay, we can
100-fold.
bring it down to 70. Okay, God.
No. There was a
No, no.
voice in my head, but really, no. We can commit to the purchase, and I'll still commit to finding a way to create a castle for
Hear
ourselves.
me out. If we accidentally destroy this town like the last one, whether by direct or indirect action,
Y'all
our
destroyed a town?
investment will have gone by the wayside. It
You didn't
seems
destroy a
safer
town in the
to
slightest.
rent in that regard. Well, in our failure to save Lupacilla, we kind of lost half the town.
We could also hold off on this purchase until later today,
God, I hate this.
or perhaps tomorrow. Quite frankly, I see no need to rush this choice. I do
No,
have a tiny hut.
We do need to get out of the inn, though.
If we rent a place for one night, for 1 month, and we're still here, then we can probably have a better idea of if we'll be staying here longer.
And at that
Okay.
point, we can choose to buy, if so needed. We will not pay for more than 1 month of rent.
I'm in agreement with that. Is everybody in?
I don't care.
All right. Then who's coming with me to do this renting business?
I'll go with you on that one.
Luna, are you going with the two ladies?
I'll go with them. Yes.
Okay. Now, one last thing before you go.
Hmm.
Lilia is right. I can leave a spell with you. Is there anything that you think you might need? Something in terms of offense, something in terms of defense. Disengage.
How high can you go up to?
3rd level, right?
As in actual height upward?
I don't have the patience for this. How high a spell slot can you do?
Oh. Let me double check my feature.
I think it was 3. Was it the...
Uh,
I thought I remember
Fourth.
talking about the 4th.
Fourth.
yeah,
Wow.
fourth or lower.
I mean, wouldn't it be better if you just gave me the ability to message you
Hmm.
in case of emergency happens?
Let me double check something.
Or can your ear do that? Or earring?
Only I can send a message through the earring. So it's
But
a
you can
one-way.
hear. But you can hear us through it, right?
If I focus on it, I can see and hear. So that might not be necessary because I will certainly be checking in frequently.
Okay. Then in that case, I don't know what spells you have, bro.
Well, are we looking for offense, defense? I have quite a lot of things.
I'm not
Do
sure
you
if I'm
think you
into-
might?
Unironically, a fog cloud.
I don't have that. That's a shit fucking spell.
Do you have
I-
Arcane Eye?
Some sort of illusion that we could pop up to...
Some more distraction, utility.
Yeah, I think a way for us to, like, create a distraction or get out if something bad happens is probably the way to go. Because I don't think we want to really be doing much fighting in the city if we can avoid it.
So, in terms of utility, there's a few things of that nature that I could offer. For example, I could grant a disguise self to one of you. Let me just click. Can I upcast this? No, I can't. I can grant the disguise to one of you. I can also give a spell to one of you that is called Expeditious Retreat. But again, that will only affect one of you. It'll allow you to move much quicker than usual. I have otherwise my flock of familiars, which you are familiar with. You could use them to scout. You could send out 3 different familiars, which don't have to be owls or ravens or anything flying, by the way. They could just be mice or rats or bugs,
might
even.
be useful because we could even send one back to you as sort of like an SOS if needed.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Flock of familiars it is then.
Okay. In that case, I'll hold out my left hand, the one I'm wearing my ring on, and hold my palm up to the sky, and from below, snow is going to begin to rise up and swirl around in my head in a circle, swirling around itself, and begins to come closer together, becoming compact and firm. And I'll have a little white orb hovering in my hand, which then plops down onto my palm. Here. Now, don't drop it. I'm not sure if the spell would immediately go off if you did, but hold on to it carefully.
Right. How long does it last?
The familiars last for about an hour, so use them wisely.
Okay. Take the orb. Are we outside or inside?
I believe we're outside the shop.
Alright.
So, also, please take the ring, the earring. One of you.
Yeah, while
Oh.
this is happening, can I make sure there's nobody like listening over us?
You can make a perception check.
You have advantage.
I'm
Oh,
Oh,
yes!
shit!
Awesome.
yeah.
Love it. That's so sick.
On the
Fucking
possibly
that
do
is-
nothing.
It was like the first roll.
It's fucking awesome.
On such an possibly pointless thing.
You catch a couple of people on the street looking at you. They're not stopping to look at you. They're just kind of giving you guys like a sort of like an eye, like. Especially towards you, since your arms look weird.
They are currently covered by a cloak.
Okay, they're still looking at your group in general, though. You're like
Yeah, we're
unusual
not-
individuals.
Yeah.
But nobody that seems to be stopping and like like actively listening in on you, or seem to be stalking you in some way, like just normal movement.
I guess my like actual question is, how observant do the general people seem? Like, because you said there was kind of like the all the weird like it was enchantment magic around. Do people seem like they're kind of like glossing over us too fast or something?
No, they don't. They look
Okay.
normal to you. Like just walking about, going about their own business, spending some time looking at things that interest them, and quickly moving on from anything that doesn't seem to interest them too much. A few people look at you, like I said, but they don't seem unfocused in some way.
Dokily dokily.
Could we find a private place before we head to The Frosty Ends. Like, where's the house where we're going to be? Because it's probably on the way, right?
Yeah, I mean, you wanted like a mid-sized house, like not luxury, right?
Yeah.
In that case, it can be. You can sort of pick a place, sort of around. Like just not here, like above the commercial district, because that's where the fancy places are, and not in the Frosty Ends either, because that's like the poor area. Other than that, you can pick anywhere.
Can it be near the library? Like here?
Could be near the library, yeah. If you wish.
If people don't mind. I'd feel good being near the library so we can keep an eye on that as well.
You afraid it's going to get up and walk away?
I'll turn my head very slowly toward you. And then I'll turn my head very slowly toward Iluna. Iluna, I'm being very patient, but even that runs thin sometimes.
I'm very proud of you.
Now, I'll turn again to... Fuck is your name? I just forgot. Maizel. Maizel. Stuff those comments. I do care about the library.
I wasn't questioning that. I was merely jesting. I have no opposition to being near the library.
It's the first home I remember. So if there's a way I can protect it, even just by being nearby, I'd prefer that.
Alright. Since we've decided that, I want to try one last thing before we head to the Frosty Ends. So, we'll be with you for just a moment. As we head to the house we're renting, I'm assuming.
I'll say goodbye to the person in the shop. I'll tell them I've dealt with it for now, so they needn't worry. And I'll expend one more sending toward Caden, and I'll tell him, please hold on to it for the time being. I will contact you later today or tomorrow morning to confirm. Thank you. See you soon.
Sure.
And then I'll go. I got manners and shit.
Yeah. So what's next?
Renting
We're
the house.
Yes. Since you guys were talking to Phileas in his shop, which is kind of like in the corner of the commercial district, kind of like around here, it's actually quite close to the library. So you can easily find a house that is, well, not easily. I'm not going to say like there's a bunch of houses for rent, but you can conveniently find a house to your specifications that is currently available for rent because its owner has gone on vacation, as far as everyone knows, at least. The house is furnished. It doesn't have like, I'm not gonna say it's furnished to your exact tastes, but it is furnished to like a degree of your tastes. Later on, if you guys want to like establish like a floor plan or whatever, like I don't really care about that. It probably doesn't have like a room for everyone, but as long as like one or two people like share, one or two pairs of people have to share, agree on sharing rooms, like you can make space for everyone, really. And it has every commodity you would need, like bathrooms, kitchen area, etc. So for now, you can treat it as your home base.
Once we Get the personnel there, whoever we have to talk to rent it. Luna will take her mixture of her Luna's kiss, and I will use my record of the live stream
Mm-hmm.
to commune with nature.
Commune with nature. Okay.
Yes, and you remember one for sure is I'm looking for vampires. Powerful vampire. Or I guess powerful undead. Vampires count as powerful undead, right?
Location of one challenge rating 10 plus creature that is a celestial elemental, fey, fiend, or an undead. Sorry, what?
I said vampires are undead creatures, right?
They are undead creatures. Wait. Let me check my. Yeah. Well, you can roll nature or arcana or religion to ascertain that.
Religion. Okay.
Nat 20 that. Oh.
Okay. According to several religious texts, vampires are creatures whose nature comes from another plane, from the Shadowfell. In that regard, they possess the same characteristics as creatures from that plane, even if they are originally from the material plane. However, oftentimes the process of becoming a vampire, not limited to, but especially when you were not born as one, does involve you being imbued with a very similar kind of energy as the one that undead creatures have. So most vampires that you would find outside of the Shadowfell are actually both fey and undead in nature.
Alright. So I'll look for that.
Mm-hmm. The location of one powerful undead.
And I guess influences from other planes of existence.
Oh, locations of portals to other planes of existence, that is?
Oh, then they change it. I hate all the 2024 things.
They changed a little bit of the wording, yeah. Now it's locations of settlements, portals to other planes of existence, one challenge rating 10 plus creature that is a celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead, the most prevalent kind of plant, mineral, or beast, and locations of bodies of water.
Interesting.
Oh shit, guys. I can use this to find the fucking thing later. I just realized.
Epic, nice.
I don't even know what find the thing is, but yeah.
The
Me
giant
either, but I'm excited
ice
for them.
monster that we got the cloaks from.
Oh, true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, once we leave here, I'm be like, no, to the south, kill it.
Monster Hunter arc.
Monster Hunter arc. Yeah, I'll do that for portals to other planes of existence, and then challenge rating 10 plus dead.
Okay, let me just.
Did you say Fae was another one? Maybe I should just do the Fae one. Fae and undead.
Fey and undead?
Yeah. Oh, I can use 3. I'm so tired. Then I'll use location for portals, Fae, and undead. There we go.
Okay, let me just check one thing. Let me see if Google has the answer that I'm looking for.
Google.
To the Google machine.
Sure, and racist memes are some of my favorite memes.
Wait, say that again.
Fearin racist memes are some of my
Oh.
favorite memes.
Agreed.
Like, there's this consistent thing I've seen where, like, Fearin is, like, using Aura's head to, like, dunk in a basketball hoop.
Okay, I think that's right. You asked for Fey Undead and portals, right?
Yeah.
The range, 3 miles of you. CR. I'm on like 5 layers of homebrew, knee deep in this shit.
You win.
Hard in the paint.
Arguably, okay. You sense the location. It's just one, right? Just double checking. One, yes, one. That is celestial limit of Free Undead.
Yeah.
You sense one Fey or Undead to the southeast of where you are. You can, yeah, you can tell more or less the location. It is like it's not that you have like a precise map in your head, but you can sort of more or less tell it's in the southeastern corner of the city, but still within the city walls.
Game's paused, by the way.
It is paused. I don't know what to do about that.
Spacebar. There we
Wow.
go.
But yes,
Wanted
it
to move
is.
my token.
It is still within the city, but in the southeastern corner of it. As for portals to other planes of existence,
Oh shit.
Oh.
you feel a. I don't know if I would call it a portal necessarily, but you do feel that is a little bit of intersection, like a planar intersection, with. You can't really tell which, but one of the 7 hells. Outside of the city gates, slightly outside.
Outside of the city gates?
Outside of the city walls, rather, around the northwestern corner, around here. Which, incidentally, although I neglected to put it on the map, is where the cemetery is located.
Okay. When Luna snaps back to reality, kind of whipped back into her body from the life streams. Her eyes were glowing silver and her tattoo was lit up. She just kind of comes back into her body and starts breathing heavily. Okay, that's something to go on. Powerful fiend or undead. Southeast, somewhere in the city walls, and then right outside the frosty ends, there is. I'm not sure what to call it, but let's call it an intersection of planes at a graveyard outside the city walls.
Intersection of planes?
Something like that.
At a graveyard. So that means there might be an intersection to the afterlife?
Well, can't be sure of anything, but
Maybe
seems
that's
to be
where Hades is.
Who?
Hades.
Well, I doubt he's fond of people intersecting his plane with anything.
Wait,
Waiting.
is this a fucking
Jojo reference.
Castlevania shit? Is there
What do you
one
mean?
of those dudes with that key item tool, whatever the fuck, and is crafting monsters with the bodies of people?
Shit. You know a
God
Forge
damn,
Master?
that
Are
one,
you
yeah.
are you bringing in Castlevania into this world too?
No
I swear.
way. Wait, I'm excited for that now. Daka, I don't care what you
I
have
watch
planned.
watch Dakai's just like, I didn't have any plans for that, but now internally he's just like, Forge Master? That sounds kind
Yeah.
of cool. Fuck
Write
it.
that down.
sick.
Write that down.
Jot it down, brother. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Okay.
Just had the thought.
Aluna will mark down roughly where she thinks. There'll probably be big ass circles on a map. Of like, I think somewhere here or here. And honestly, we should probably get outside the city walls and see what's going on with that graveyard.
Do you think that takes precedence over the other portion of the mission now?
It's all a part of the mission now.
Sure, but are you going with the girls, or do you want us all to go together to explore this first? Or should Maizel and I go check it out?
I just need to check something really quick. Why exactly do you might as well have to stay behind anywhere?
I'm not entirely sure, but it seems like we had thought that if we send too big a group in, that might attract attention.
I think we can maybe. I think we can maybe all go. Just, kind of go in groups. I think if the 5 of us all walk in together, I don't know that anybody's really going to be. We're not very inconspicuous.
It'll
I do
be
agree with that.
fine.
We're supposed to be relatively subtle.
We've
This
already
is
traveled the.
Lilia's first time here. I've been seen around the city before, and people know me as an investigator. So they might suspect that I'm looking into something, though I'm still not that unusual a sight at this point. And Noah's lived here for a little while, so most of us have been around for a bit.
How about this? We look around the frosty ends. You guys will look around outside the walls with the graveyard. We won't be that far from each other.
That works. And I can check in with you anyway, every so often.
And we'll have
Right.
the flock of familiars too if something goes a little squirrely.
Absolutely.
Alright. Does that sound like a plan?
That works for me.
Alright. Then we'll do that.
All right.
Split the party. Split
Split
the
the
party.
party. That has never gone wrong. That has never gone wrong.
Okay, so you guys are splitting.
The party.
Indeed. We're gonna handle the orphanage group first because they're gonna arrive there faster. The other group will have to essentially get out of the city and then walk around and it's not like heavy blizzard, but it is definitely tougher to make headway in the snow than it is on a city protected by walls. So we're gonna handle the orphanage people first. Who's going there?
I
Me,
think it's
Lily,
the
and
gal
Rolla.
squad.
The gals.
The gals,
Okay,
the girly
the-
pops.
The twinks are going to the graveyard, and the
Oh my god, those twinks cannot dig up a grave.
They have magic.
True. They've got.
I have
Mold
mold
Earth,
earth.
Yeah, one of the
Okay,
things
there you
Maisel
go.
likes to do the most is spamming Mold Earth.
You're so right. I forgot about that. I just had a brief moment of like, they can't lift a shovel. They can't even pick it off the ground.
Actually, not for nothing. I think Noah is technically built different.
You're right. I forgot.
I'm strong as a motherfucker, bitch.
Yeah,
I
he has.
experienced
Yeah.
twink death so early.
Yeah. I think Noah's technically stronger than a Luna.
I've got a sleeper build, brother.
Hell yeah.
Fun
Oh,
fact,
he has
actually,
he has a hacker build.
Mold Earth got reworked alongside Shape Water and I think Gust of Wind. Not Gust of Wind, just Gust. And
Disgust.
some other thing, like now it's just called Elementalism. It's like just a cantrip that manipulates all of the elements, like if you want to.
Yeah, that.
So you don't have to limit yourself, like, to one.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. Anyway, right. So you guys are heading to the Frosty Ends, right?
Yeah.
Okay. To recap, since you guys have gone through the city of Great Helm for a little bit, and let me push everyone onto the Great Helm Day map. Another tiny image because I don't know how to resize them on Foundry yet.
There's no token.
Token vision needs to be.
Oh no.
This is my favorite thing that we're gonna do forever.
Yeah, how the fuck do I make it so you
So,
don't need tokens?
Right click
this-
on it, hit configure, go to lighting, and then uncheck token vision.
Right. There we go.
Save changes.
That looks very cool.
I sure save them changes.
Yeah, we see it now.
Okay, Great Helm. As you can see, it is a city that is. It's not like super high tech, but it has. In the middle, in the very center of the city, there's this big metal apparatus sort of building called the furnace, which is what distributes the heating system that goes over the rest of the city and provides everyone with fresh heat. Although the amount of heat that you get is kind of minimal, just to keep you from dying of from freezing to death. If you want an actual hot home, you're probably going to have to buy some stuff to make yourself warmer. As for the city itself, most of the streets are built in stone, like bricks. There are a few lampposts, depending on your neighborhood, that turn on at night, perhaps. The city has a commercial district, which is very flourishing. It's very fancy even. There are many expensive stores, such as Windon First, that is the largest sort of store. The public library is right by this commercial district, and not for nothing, the sort of noble district, not noble in the sense of high bourgeois, sort of like housing district, is right above this commercial district, right next to it. Not far from it is also the Temple of Hestia, a very large religious structure with kind of like a modest neighborhood around it. The area where the other side is located is a sort of middle-class district right next to the Masons Market. It's appropriately called the Masons Quarter. The Masons Market is a more humble commercial district of sorts. It has more traditional family-owned stores where you can buy things for more affordable prices for the common people. It's also around where the Hearthflame Asylum is located. And then reaching to the northwest, to the southwest of the city, are the Frosty Ends. They seem to be called as such based on what you can see, because it seems like the tips of everything around here is covered in a layer of ice and frost, because the people around here do not have the aforementioned means to boost up the heating of their houses. They can keep themselves from freezing to death, but they can't quite keep themselves warm. As you walk around these streets, you do notice a significant increase in the accumulation of snow to the sides of the street. People don't dress very elegantly. They mostly just use like tattered clothes stacked and a lot of layers to keep the cold off. There are humble smithies, bars, all other sorts of shops that sell services and of a certainly like low quality, but still workable perhaps. You notice the occasional bum as well, reminiscent of our friend from the Grey School, though you don't see him specifically, at least not yet. It's a rougher part of the city. It definitely shows a little bit of the waste that goes around, or the people who are not as fortunate to enjoy the rest of what the city has to offer. Although, if you have visited places that don't have the technology that Greytown does, it is already a remarkable improvement that you're not seeing houses just completely frosted over. And in this context, after you make a few turns, walk through a few questionable alleyways, but which Rala has learned to navigate through, you do reach. Sorry, did you say something?
No, that was just my nose being.
Oh, sure. You do reach the Daphne Orphanage, Rala's official house. It's a 2-story, fairly large, like dark wooden building that has very clearly seen better days, but isn't quite run down yet. It's a little worn, but it's still standing. It has noticeably less frost over it than the rest of the frosty ends, although there's still, some accumulated buildup here and there. But not as frosted. Seems like a fairly large building, all in all, and right on, like on the center of it, there are these little 4 steps of stone leading into a small landing, and then these big double wooden doors, which are currently closed. You do see the occasional, not the occasional, you see a few children to the sides of the building, playing in the snow or doing some other child things, such as jumping. What do you call it? Like hopscotch?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing that.
Rala,
Yeah.
do you enjoy living here?
It's better than I was. It's better than where I was before. So, yeah, I guess.
I'm going to convince Noah and Mizell to buy that house. And you can stay there as much as you want, okay?
Okay. Tries to hide a smile.
Right.
Is there anything we need to know about anybody here before we go in?
Uh,
Is there a sweet spot to get in good with anybody?
Miss Tully's nice, but she's also kinda strict, so don't get in trouble and you'll be fine.
And is there a reason that we're supposed to say for why we're coming back with you?
Just say you're doing Mr. What was his, Mr. Kermheim's work today?
Mr. Kermheim?
Kerheim.
What would that be signing me up for?
Oh, he's just the guard who takes me home.
Oh. Wait. The guard that... Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. The one from the guard that'll usually bring you home. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, Kermit.
Now I don't remember the actual name.
The activity from people being tired, we heard it coming from like later at night, or just in general.
Sorry, what?
The people like walking around Frosty End's like tired. Is that like an all day thing, or is it more like later at night?
According to Bart, it was an all-day thing.
All day thing. Okay. I guess I'll sort of as we're heading back to her place, I'll make a perception check.
Okay. To gauge like the state of the people on the street.
Yeah, like the general energy levels of the people around. Do they feel like people in a sort of rundown city, or do they feel like, I don't know if you've ever seen like the streets of Philadelphia.
No.
It looks like a zombie town. Like people are like drugged
Oh,
out.
we
and...
have those too. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I don't know the streets of Brazil.
You know, I've seen some. Okay, 18.
Wait. Whoops. That was the wrong one. Did I roll an advantage? Oh, there.
Why would you have advantage?
My new senses.
Oh, okay. As you guys traverse the Frosty Ends under Raul's guidance, you take a moment. You seize the opportunity, really, to sort of focus your senses and try to assess the general vibe of the people here. People are kind of low energy around the Frosty Ends in general. There's just lower energy here compared to the city, which makes sense for this kind of district. But you do catch quite a few of them, not all, but quite a few of them, like yawning outright, like looking sleepy even, with these sort of like bags under their eyes, and walking a little bit sluggishly.
I think actually, I guess based off the same roll, could I find people that aren't as sluggish?
Yeah, you do. Like, in contrast, some people like strike you as being a little more sluggish, and others, while low energy, not super excited to be going about their day in like the poor part of town, they're walking around normally, more or less.
Okay. I'll let that go for now.
Alright, so you are at the doorstep of the orphanage.
We walk up.
Okay, are you knocking, or are you just waiting for it to fly open?
Just walk indoors.
Walk in door. We don't need to knock first?
No! I mean,
follow
well-
Rawl's lead is.
I live here. Why would I knock?
That's a fair point.
I can't fault that logic.
All right. You guys open the door, and inside you see a big hall, still made of the same dark wood as the exterior, just more polished. Just the shade is similar. It's a wide hall that goes all the way up to the back. You can see that at the back there are a couple of stairs that lead to the second floor. To the sides there are openings that lead to corridors with rooms or perhaps the kitchen, etc. Like this big hall has a large carpet running through the floor of it, and to the left you can see a metallic structure. It has like the lid closed, but you can tell it's a fireplace of sorts, except it's not burning wood or anything. It's just like this mechanical contraption. It has a few like fail safes and obviously a small like wooden barricade that prevents children from touching it. But it does seem to be running and emitting some steam. There are pipes extending from this contraption that run like up the walls and some leading into the ground itself. It's, I believe, the first time you have actually seen the heating engine of one of these houses, because they usually are more well hidden of sorts. As you get there, there are several children going about their business, like doing homework near the fireplace, others like running about. On the whole, although this place is fairly spacious, you see just from entering here and outside of the orphanage itself, you begin to get the sense that there are maybe more children here than the orphanage should be fit in terms of like its maximum capacity, so to speak. Right as you get there, you see children of ages like 4, 5, all the way up to like teenagers such as Rala. Nobody too old, except for one person who is currently, as you sort of like enter nonchalantly, she seemed to be scolding someone in terms of like someone ran through and she was turning and ordering them to stop. The scrolling down to here, you see this tall, slender Hyoran woman of kind of like middling age, has like gray and dark brown hair, dressed in a worn but pretty well kept like formal attire in these bleak tones, partially just because they're bleak and partially like a little already having lost a little bit of their color due to age, presumably. She's got over her shoulders as well a good quality but clearly old for a shawl. Her hair is kept tight in a bun, but as anyone who works with children, it's a little bit disheveled. She was turning and going like, "Stop running, right? This is..." And then you enter, and she kind of catches herself, not, being a little seemingly surprised by your entrance, since you're two adults with one child. When she turns to see towards you, you see she has these pretty sharp gray eyes, and her ears are slightly pointed, like slightly. She looks at you like, "Good morning."
Hello.
Morning.
And good morning to you, Miss Soak Molly.
Hello.
May I inquire where you were last night?
I was helping with something.
She was helping us around after we came back to the city. A friend of mine, the librarian, if you know him, had taken a book that she'd been meaning to read, and she saw him at the gates. She took exception to that. After that, she showed us around town, and Aluna will rub her head.
She showed you around town for the entirety of the night.
It's more so by the time we got done with dinner and everything, we actually noticed that she was starting to nod off on us, so just went ahead and settled down for the night.
Roll persuasion.
Which one of us?
Whichever one you want, but you're not getting advantage.
What's your persuasion?
+6.
Me too.
Oh my god, twinsies. You can have it.
No, I don't want to be responsible. That's gonna
I
come.
don't want to be responsible. 12
Ooh,
is perfectly reasonable.
okay.
18. She's still squinting a little. And goes like, well, I can look into it later. Now, I presume Miss Soakmolly will go back and finish the chores she had skipped out on. Post haste, hmm?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, she was such a good help helping us around the city yesterday. If there's any things you need me to help out around, I'm pretty handy if you need anything done.
I'm sorry I did not catch your names. My name is Yolanda Tully. I run this institution. You two would be?
Oh, I'm Lilia Elm.
Luna Shindor.
Yes. And I don't recall seeing you around town.
Oh, I'm
Well-
actually new in town.
I as well. I'm an adventurer of sorts. And she sort of motions to her everything. Don't know if you could tell.
Ah. Adventurers. Yes, you do look rather striking compared to other townsfolk. Well, we don't really need much help. Thank you very much.
I mean, I reckon it must be pretty difficult keeping up with all these kids here. You must be wore pretty thin.
I understand children being exhausting. I was an orphan myself, growing up. So, if you could use the extra pair of hands today. I think there does seem to be a very genuine sort of desire in that from Aluna.
Same for Familia.
Well, I suppose you can help me out with lunch then. It is about time for me to begin preparations, and feeding all of these miscreants is not an easy task.
Of course, just send us on our way, and we'll help you with what we can.
Yes, come with me. And Jake, drop that. Drop it. Nope. Drop it. And she like gives this child that was running with something trying to like. He was trying to hide it, but her eyes are very attuned to it already, and she just gets him. The kid drops something that looks like kind of like a screwdriver on the floor and like goes away. She goes to lead you both to the kitchen and turns to Rala like, now you, I believe you had homework left, yes?
No, I did that.
Well, where is it then?
She'll rummage through her bag to find a crumpled piece of paper with design notes of a bag of holding on the backside.
Yeah.
Show it proudly.
She takes it, inspects it, sees the notes at the back, and makes a face that says, like, what the fuck is this?
Can I look at it?
Like, she's holding it. She's not gonna, like, show it to you, but you can take, like, a cursory glance if you wish, like, while she's inspecting.
Yeah. Let me just kind of give me like a sort of like a tertiary, like, what did the girl do?
It's pretty advanced, actually. Like, unorthodox, like, for sure. Clearly lacking in proper conventions. But very ingenious in his own way. And Istali sort of like takes the gives the paper once over, like sighs. Yes. It is all perfect as always. You're a little too smart for your own good, Miss Soakmully. But you need more discipline.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, since you're done with homework, then go clean your room while we do lunch. While we make lunch with these kind strangers.
And Rala walks off, a little kind of just with a glance after staring at it. Will give sort of a small smile. She's talented.
I am aware, but she keeps scurrying away to Hestia knows where every day. What will she do with all that talent? If she just stayed home, studied diligently, perhaps I could put her somewhere nice, but if she keeps getting dragged back home by the city guard, where is that going to get her?
Have there been people interested in adopting Rala? Or has that adventurous side of her turned off?
Adoptions are not too common. What mostly happens to the children here is that we raise them until they are capable of fending for themselves, and off they go into the world.
Have there always been so many kids here?
Well, the years go by and population grows, I suppose, and so does the number of children needing a home. So, I suppose not always, but it is what it is. This is the only orphanage in town, after all.
I just didn't know if there'd been recently an uptick or something, or if it just happened to be the, way time goes.
Well, I suppose we did get a number of them in recent years. But, like I said, city grows. More children to care for. Only one place to send them.
What is the process for adopting?
Oh, well. If a citizen of the city, well, brilliant. If a citizen is interested in adopting a child, they come here and I interview them, of course. I can't have people with dubious backgrounds, and just sort of gives you too like a suspicious look. Just taking off the children to do God knows what. But if they clear everything out, and they can prove to me that they can afford to have a child, then I just let them observe the children for a little bit, and vice versa. See if maybe they find a common denominator of sorts. I will not just hand the children out to anyone, but supposing everything works well, the child can go home to their new parents, although of course it's still their own choice.
Luna looks a bit melancholy as she sort of observes the children. Right.
I apologize, does that strike a nerve of some sort?
Like I said, orphan. Just, I travel a lot. Seems like you get the same story everywhere. Anyway, lunch. Kind of claps her hands, sort of gonna pick her mood up.
Indeed,
What's up
lunch.
here?
Well, today, as most days, it's stew.
I think we'll probably be helping out. I'm not
Yeah.
sure how long lunch will take, but like if there are things that like if we manage to like do this and sort of garner enough sort of rapport that she feels like okay, maybe they do just want to help around.
Yeah, she definitely leads you guys to the kitchen and then sort of like puts you in the situation where you're constantly under her purview. Like she doesn't really take her eyes off of you or anything, just directs you to like cut things or mince other things, put things to boil, etc. It takes a little bit to make lunch for all of these children, for sure. But over the process of it, you do manage to, well, roll precision check to see how successful you are at it. But there is time to like try to get on her good side a little bit.
I was gonna say during it, Lilia would definitely start like picking up a tune and singing along, and if any of the kids are joining in, would get them involved too.
Okay, you can roll performance check as well.
I would have tried to do it, but my ribs hurt too much to try and sing.
If I were to try to sing, I might die.
Sorry, what?
If I were to try to sing, I might die.
And I may or may not have broken a rib. I'm gonna go get it checked tomorrow, so
Oy.
What?
it's fine.
Everyone's falling
Uh,
apart in this campaign.
Do I have enhanced ability on myself?
You what?
Can I enhance ability on myself?
That depends. How do you intend to cast that?
That's a good point. It's a problematic spell. Never mind, I'll just take my chances.
Yeah, I don't think she would appreciate you just going like, "Oh,
Subtle spell, duh.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, for a performance, Lilia, you hum a few tunes, start singing a few songs. It gets the attention of some of the children, but none of them really stop to like listen in or something. It's just they just like hear it and hum it a little and keep going about their business. Miss Tully also like just doesn't make too much of a reaction. Just sort of like okay.
Ooh, rough crowd.
It's not bad, but it's not super good either. But over the course of the of preparing lunch, by the time that you're done, you have managed to at least. Miss Tully seems a little more comfortable with you, with the both of you. Like she entrusts you to take like the pots to the main dining hall area, even, which is something that at the start didn't seem like she would entrust to you as easily.
I think there are definitely times where, like, if there's like two kids fighting, Aluna would definitely sort of crouch down and sort of quickly sort of try to make peace with the two. Or if there's just sort of anything, she grew up in an orphanage. She grew up with lots of rambunctious kids. She kind of knows like the general vibe and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if she wants to make an insight check on Aluna because I know she was suspicious of us.
Yeah, she seems less suspicious now. She can see you don't have bad intentions at least. She's like, okay.
Yeah, there does seem to be a genuine joy in she's doing.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Rala, what would you be doing?
Well,
Definitely not cleaning her room.
I was told to clean, but I'm just shoving everything under the bed. I mean, I presume I share my room with a few others, right?
Yes.
So, put my blanket on my bed and just shove everything else underneath the bed.
Mm-hmm. You
Clap
get
my
there
hands.
and
Done.
yeah, one of the younger children who shares the room with you sort of like greets you very meekly, just kind of like still in her bed, like a little like huddled together. She was like, "Oh, hi, Rala."
Hello. You doing okay today?
Don't want to talk about it.
Go back under her bed and get just like the stuffed rat and just give it to her and give her a head pat. Say, can I trust you? I need you to keep an eye on him, alright?
Oh. Okay, I can keep I can take care of him.
Good, alright. Remember, needs to be pet at least 3 times a day.
Oh, I should. The kid just like pats it once, like, okay, that's one done.
She just smiles at the younger girl and says, you know, just, oh, I gotta go now, but don't forget, 3 times.
Oh, you're not gonna be back again tonight?
Maybe. She leans in kind of close and said, I'm on a super secret mission. So, shh.
Okay.
Then she'll go to rush back downstairs after giving her another head pat.
When you exit the room, sort of like one of the other kids who share that same room with you, but who's a little bit older, like more closer to your age, go like, I mean, that was good of you. Katie's having the nightmares again.
Or which last night just
I don't know, like a bunch of the kids pretty scared lately. I think someone's telling spooky stories.
it's not Brendan, is it? I'll beat him down.
No, yeah, I kicked his ass already, but it swears up and down it wasn't him.
Oh. Where I'm working on, and she just like starts to get frustrated of like she's trying to start saying something, stopping it, and eventually just getting frustrated, and I'm working on it. I'll fix it soon. And then she's gonna just kind of barge out.
Sure. Okay. Kid seemed a little receptive at first, but with all your hesitation, he kind of gives you a look like, the fuck is... What's wrong with this girl? We're okay.
Did she barge out of the orphanage or just out of her room?
Just out of the room. I feel like that's just her subtitle. What's wrong with this girl?
Yeah. You do eventually get to the dining area when all of the pots of stew are properly put out. There's more than the usual, due to probably the presence of Lillian and Luna that allowed them to cook more than would be normal. Speaking of which, Lillian and Luna, you do notice that the food stocks of the orphanage, like it's not like they're gonna starve tomorrow, but they're not that great.
I did make sure they have so much wood chopped. They are so sad.
Yeah.
I think I don't think there's a limit on this. I'll actually hold on, let me see. Actually, you know what? Never mind, I won't do it. I was gonna ask her if I could do a little bit of prestidigitation to change the taste of the food, but that would just make the kids sad later.
True.
It didn't taste as good later.
Yeah, very true, actually.
I could give you flaming on for tonight, but later.
Just for the night.
Yeah.
I will give you the height of something so that you may never again know but how far you've fallen.
Yeah.
So right before you guys, sit down to eat, Miss Tully has all the children, or at least the children who behave, speak a prayer to Hestia. Pretty involved prayer, too. Thanking for, the shelter that they have, the home above their heads, the food that you have to eat, and people that you have to eat it with, etc., etc. And then they all, you can all sit down to eat and have a hearty meal. It's not noon; it's a little past noon because it takes a while to prepare things for all these children. But yes, you can see it and have a meal. Over the course of this meal, Miss Tully seems to always having to stop her food to take care of something. A few children come up to her like crying. She like pats them down, like calms them down until they like sort of like stop crying and go back to their business. It happens a few times over the course of the of lunchtime in general.
Does it seem like random or just like typical kids getting upset thing?
Make an insight check.
Yeah.
11. It doesn't seem to be like the kids were complaining about something about other kids, you know, like it didn't seem to be the situation where like, oh, someone stole my bike or something. They seem to be upset about some other thing. And after talking to her a little, they eventually settle down and go like eat their stuff. But it doesn't seem to be a case where it's a conflict between the children and other children or something.
It just happens a few times throughout the lunch.
Yeah.
I think as they're sort of either putting dishes away or cleaning, I think Luna will sort of mention. Some of the kids seemed to be upset. Are they having nightmares?
I think so. They've been seeing. I don't know who's been telling them stories of, you know, those kind of spooky stories about ghosts or things, monsters. A lot of the children have been scared of that the house is haunted, or they see things in the shadows that move in the night. You know how children can go. Anything that moves in the bleak lighting, just turn into a specter of some sort. Well, like I said, I haven't found exactly who's telling them these stories, because children didn't used to be this scared of the dark and things like that. But as a result, many more little ones coming crying to me over the course of the day because they saw something.
Is there
Plus,
specific places they're seeing things?
Oh, the more dimly lit areas of the house, I suppose, as you would expect. The attic, corners of the corridors, places where the heating pipes aren't as haven't been as properly maintained, that kind of thing.
hmm.
And is it all ages of the kids that are bringing this sort of thing to you?
Well,
Just trying to figure out if maybe it's one of the older kids picking on the younger.
no, I've actually gotten quite a lot of the older kids have been like that too. They don't talk as much, but I can tell they're a little rattled.
Would it be okay if we spoke with one of the older kids? I wouldn't want to, make any of the younger ones concerned. But I mean, we're pretty good at finding stuff out. If you'd like, we can take a look around for you. I know I mean, just to be on the safe side, and then you can tell all these kids that those big, strong adventurers here looked around and everything's okay.
Well, doesn't seem like you're bad people, so perhaps.
I mean, it could be some sort of like mouse infestation. If so, we can probably find that hole and pitch it, get that fixed right up. That got so hick so fast.
I don't think that is quite the problem, but it would be good. Well, anyway, I'll get one of the other kids to speak to you a bit if it will help. Should please you for a second.
Is Rollo around?
Oh, I have to cough and it's gonna hurt so bad.
Yeah, she would be.
Yeah. She'd just be kind of like off to the side, trying to intimidate Brendan to knock it off with the stories.
Brendan is like, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I'm telling you, I didn't do it.
Luna comes around Rollo. Wow, that's a mighty fierce glare you're giving him. What do you do?
He says he didn't do it, but I know he did. He's the one telling all those stories to the young ones.
Those stories are so boring. It's much more fun to talk about, like, dragons and like dragons.
Yeah, but you don't scare the young ones.
Lily kind of gives Luna like a sly smile.
No.
Okay, fine.
So that would be very fun.
Out of the void voices a booming voice going, I fail to see what is amusing about dragon stories, child. Brendan stops in his tracks like, what the fuck was that?
Luna looks the most innocent she's ever looked in her entire life. Is there something wrong, young man?
What's that voice? It would do you good to remember the stains of the sins of dragons remain on this land to this very age. It's like, what? You guys are hearing this too, right? Right?
I think at a certain point, Luna will be like, all right, well, wait, look, wait, he's a child. He's a child. Calm down.
Rethink your actions, boy. It's like, yes! The kid just scurries off like, yes, I will.
Well, I think we taught him a proper lesson now, didn't we?
Indeed. However, it does seem like the boy was not involved.
That is true.
Hearing weird stories about apparently a bunch of kids have been seeing strange stuff. So I think we're gonna try and take a look around and see if we can, see what's going on.
Yeah. Since you asked, like, to speak to one of the children, Miss Tully does come back with little Kyle.
Fucking Kyle.
Yeah, it's always Kyle, right? Little Kyle, this looks to be like around 14 years of age, 15 maybe. Wearing like this clearly oversized, obviously hand-me-down knit sweater and a, what do you call it? Like one of those hats that had like that little ball, on top of it.
Like a little
A beanie?
It's called a beanie. Is it a beanie?
I think it's just like a style of beanies.
Yeah, with the little puff, the palm. It has a palm.
Beanies, but funner.
Yeah, one of
A little
those.
spice.
Anyway, little Kyle comes in and he's sniffing a little. Goes like, don't think with Matt, but hello?
Luna will crouch down to get to his height, as she's a very tall woman. Just smile sweetly. Hello, what's your name?
I'm Kyle.
Luna. It's very nice to meet you, Kyle.
Like, why is like?
Just kind of gives him like a gracious smile. He understands it's kind of nerve-wracking. Me and my friend Leah here are adventurers, and whenever we hear scary stories, we like to look into them. So, would you be able to tell us a little about what you've been seeing?
Oh, kind of like looks nervous, like to the sides.
Kind of just gently takes his hand. Hey, just look at me. There's nothing scary about me, right?
That, that, well, you're all kind of very tall, but other than that, no.
I have gotten that before. But no, just focus on me. Just tell me what you can.
Okay. So sometimes I hear some stuff, like when I'm around town, and when I look at things, I see things moving, and sometimes it's like a face, like I see a face and then it's gone, and it's real scary. It's like it's just a thing in the mist, and then it's gone. And then I get home and the windows are frosted over, but then there's a face in the windows too, and it's kind of like whatever's out there is following me or something.
Sort of just rubs his back, try to placate him a little bit.
You're helping us a lot by telling us this. You're doing a really good thing right now.
And when I go to sleep, it's like I close my eyes and there's this thing after me is still. I don't know. I don't know.
Is there any sort of... Is it just like a shadowy face?
Yeah, it's kind of like this weird like white thing. It's like screaming.
Weird.
So it's just like a white screaming face looking thing?
Yeah, kind of. So sort of. Looks like it's just looking at me, wailing, screaming.
Thank you very much for all the information you've given us, Kyle. No.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh.
Kind of like gulps and goes like, "You're welcome. Can I go now?"
Of course. And Luna will just give him one last ruffle on his head. If there is something like that, Just know that adventures are on the case, okay?
Oh, okay.
We're really big and really strong.
Kind of like goes red in the ears, but quickly absconds.
You just that kid just had an awakening to tall women.
Kind of, yeah.
Core memory.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I was 14 once. I can relate to Kyle.
Lady Dimitrescu suddenly is in the search history.
Listen, I saw like an Instagram post of just like, yo, young me had great taste, and I was like showing like Shigo and like these characters. I was just like, yeah, me. Back then, me. I was always right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But and then we'll look towards Rala. Rala, have you been hearing similar things? Have you seen things yourself?
I haven't had these nightmares, have I?
Nope, not nightmares.
Okay. Right, not the nightmares. No, I haven't had any of the nightmares, but some of the other kids are, you know, they're definitely not doing good.
So you haven't seen like the weird face in the glass or anything?
I see all sorts of stuff, but not in nightmares.
I'm sorry?
Tilt. Elaborate.
Well, yeah, like when we left the inn today, the otters were back. So I said goodbye to them, and then there was that.
As if to prove a point, there is currently a parrot perched atop Iluna's head.
Oh, and then like right there, and she just points.
Very bright parrot, like yellow, bright yellow.
Points to Iluna's head and kind of like, you know, he's mimics a bird.
I'm sorry, is there something on my head?
Well, yeah, but if you move, it'll probably move.
I don't feel anything on my head, do I?
No, you don't.
And last night, at the thing, there was not a not good one, but he was gone in the morning. So
Not. Where was he? The not good one.
he was just out the window. I don't think he saw me. See him. So we're fine.
What's a not good one?
Big guy. He's kind of, you know. Ah! She just kind of mimics, kind of claws out, grin.
Rala, could you draw or try to draw what the things you see for us, please?
Okay, but I'm not so good at drawing. And she'll
I mean,
try.
with your design perspectives, it's just, you know, getting the right eye for it.
She'll
Different.
yeah.
It really is not. Someone that draws.
Yes, but no is the answer.
Nah, doing like technical drawing is different from doing like artistic renditions.
Yes, but no.
Yes, but no. But for like the purposes of what we're doing, like if you can make a design for like a gauntlet, you can make a fucking face. Drawing is just circles. You hate it because it's a painful truth.
No, it's not
You're
true.
just going to make a drawing that is, you know, discernible of what it is.
No, like
versus-
my uncle, who's an engineer who could draw like floor plans, he could not draw like a pretty face or something like that. He can draw like a very basic face shape, but he couldn't like do an artistic rendition of someone's face.
But you can still draw a face.
I mean,
Wait,
realistic.
anyone can draw a face.
I don't know. I think people that can do that have a much higher ceiling than the average.
Regardless, Rala, you
So-
can make a if you have
Yep.
proficiency with like painter's tools or drawing related stuff, you can use that. Otherwise, just use your dexterity.
I mean,
We're all good at all tools.
technically, yeah, I am good with all of the tools. So,
Really?
yeah.
Damn. Okay.
So,
Artificer shenanigans.
yeah.
Wallace is kind of like, I don't know. It makes a masterpiece. This kid.
So, I just opened up paint and I painted though. So, there you go. Looks like that. Well, that was the one from last night, not the bird.
Wait, where is this?
It's on Discord.
Okay.
I hate it.
I know. I've heard in old wives' tales about kids being more susceptible towards like, because there's always the old tale of like a kid being changed out for a changeling because they're also able to be more receptive towards. I wonder if it's something with if you're young enough, you're able to see things here.
I
Are
will
you
say
saying I'm a changeling?
No.
I want to say one thing for Raul's sort of benefit. The kids seem to be describing that he was seeing the same thing in many different places and contexts. Kind of like, if whether he's actually seeing it or he's just imagining it in some cases remains to be discussed. In your case, you almost never see the same thing. The exact same thing, that is.
Gotcha. Yeah, no,
Well,
go ahead.
do you know where they tend to see this face or the face they might be seeing?
What
I think
I
it said something about the attic.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of people have said all sorts of stuff. Outside, in the attic, even
Yeah.
by the heater.
He did mention seeing it on the street as well.
Outside.
I will approach, what's her name?
Miss Tully?
Miss Tully. Miss Tully, could I ask you something?
Yes. Of course.
These nightmares the kids are. The frequency and will sort of. I've often found adventuring that truth is much odder than fiction. If there is something here, something haunting, would you be okay with us spending the night and just keeping an eye out?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that for a moment? Like I think my connection did a little.
Well, which part?
I sort of lost the middle there.
I've often found that reality is even more absurd than fiction. If there's any hint of some sort of haunting going on with the children, I would like to investigate a bit.
Well, sure. I mean, I must confess, I thought it was mostly a, spooky stories, but if you think there is maybe more truth to it, I will keep an eye out for something happening around the orphanage at night.
Right. We'll be around. Keep an eye out. If there is something that comes up, we'll let you know.
Very well. I don't know what can be done about this sort of thing, but
If we were perhaps seeking to employ for like temporary to have a local here, as we're both new to the city, to help us finding more things around, could we? Rala's now become quite familiar with us. Oop, this is not the right character. It'd be
Employee
nice
might-
to have a local kind of come around with us and show us around. Could we? I know I wouldn't want to disrupt her school or anything.
roll a persuasion check.
Can I add something onto that?
Mm-hmm.
I do confess I've become somewhat fond of Rala. She reminds me of myself when I was getting into trouble in the orphanage. You very much remind me of my dead mother. In many respects. I think we can be a good guiding hand for her.
Okay. Roll persuasion check. Toss like a d4 on top of it.
Oh, was it me or her? Okay.
We kind of
Me.
12. Not too concerned about her schooling. Rala is a very prodigious child.
I mean, if you'd prefer to look at it as us hiring her as a part-time guide, that'd be optional as well.
I would rather a child of her age not be working already.
No.
I viewed it more as keeping her out of trouble and giving her something to do.
But it seems inevitable that Miss Soakmully will escape at night. Well, as long as you can bring her here before noon every day, just to check up on her, maybe that would be fine. If you don't, I'm sure you are aware I will alert the guards.
Of course.
And if we both come, we can help with lunch too.
That would be delightful. Now then, is there anything else I can help you with?
We can finish taking a look around, and then I don't know if we have too much else to bother you with.
Yeah, we'll check the attic.
Right, we're just gonna do that, and then we're gonna call it for tonight.
Okay. I'm gonna once we're up there, so we're about at earshot, I'm gonna cast See Invisibility.
Okay. You cast
Invisible
see
creatures in ethereal plane.
You cast see invisibility, and you see nothing of unusual. You can roll an investigation check if you'd like as well.
I roll an advantage since she's helping me.
Yeah, I'm helping.
Yeah.
Man, we are rolling. Oh man, you have so much brains.
I was rolling
So much
okay.
brains.
I'm real smart.
You do. You're a smart girl.
You don't find anything out of the ordinary. Except here and there, you find like some drawings from the children. You know, stuff like they were like sketching and then they just left behind and went elsewhere. And some of them do depict like this sort of like apparition. Very, very haunting visage of sorts. And one of them is just like big eye. And a couple of other eyes. Just staring straight into the quote-unquote camera. Not really possible to track down which of the dozens of children did this. But that's as much as you find in the orphanage of concrete proof of anything.
I'll commit that to memory and think of if there are any sort of monsters that seem relevant.
Okay, last thing for tonight then. Make a nature check.
Ugh.
Just off the top of your head, stuff about seeing like faces and like the specter, the screaming face, and now that you look at the drawings, looks like a ghost, like a very stereotypical ghost even. Other than that, like the eyes, etc., or what you could discern aside from the ghost from the drawing, many creatures have eyes. But that's it. We're leaving it there for tonight. Next week we are putting a pin on this this side of the story and following Noah and myself. They head by themselves to the graveyard.
We got this.
Yes, we do.
Sure
We
you
are
do.
the casters after all.
Sure do, Mr. Mizell. I have disadvantage on everything when the sun is out.
Oh,
hey,
you
the sun's
do?
not out. It's cloudy.
Sun is out.
The sun is out.
Wait, you do?
It does.
Fucking loser.
I can investigate this tonight.
Yeah. he just stops at the entrance of the graveyard and hits the wait button.
Literally.
Goes into the menu, time skips forward.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how many hours do you wish to skip ahead?
I thought it's like constantly snowing here.
It is, but that doesn't mean the sun isn't out. Like, it doesn't have to be like.
If I can't see the sun, it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Are
sure.
you an
You-
ostrich?
If you can get sunburn, then it's out.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even if it's raining or if it's cloudy, like the sun is still out. It has to be like storming
Talking
on a
to a
critical
real
level.
talking to a real in real life vampire, a person who always got burns from snowy days.
True.
I have no pigment, so I'm actually the closest thing to a vampire you'll find.
That's true. But yeah, no, the sun is out. I'm sorry. But next week we're gonna see how that goes.
You don't sound very sorry.
I'm not. Okay, fellas, it has been a pleasure. Thank you for coming. We managed to end at a reasonable time today,
I can't
thankfully,
believe
so
it.
please don't die.
I was holding that in.
I feel it. And yeah, we'll see each other next time.
Yes, sir.
Good night, y'all. Bye bye.
GG, guys.
Bye bye.
Big session. Big session.